Just a heads up. We've got a lot of stuff happening with the Supreme Court. We're going to be talking to Ian Millhiser later this week, and we're going to play that interview next week. And we will catch you up on that. Obviously, there's a lot of oral arguments being heard, and we are really just a month or two away from their decisions on a lot of these things. So we will check into that. But we should say that Donald Trump, the latest polling coming out, and it was announced this week that Joe Biden is going to basically just he's going to play the incumbent game in this election. He's not going to leave the White House, except for it's not the White House. It's just his basement in Maryland, I guess, right? Or Delaware. Delaware, sorry. Mm-hmm. And that's it. And I'm not terribly surprised by this. And Donald Trump may actually have more problems going out in public than he presumes right now. I think we will have a better sense of that in the coming weeks. But nevertheless, despite the fact that Joe Biden is sort of decided to take the less obtrusive, the less, I think, obvious. He doesn't want to be too out there. He wants to dole it out in tiny chunks. Most Americans
have the times of day that he's awake.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Time to take a nap. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Taking a nap. Taking some shut-eye. Reuters reports that Donald Trump's polling, a poll conducted on Monday and Tuesday of this week, 41% of adults approved of Trump's performance in office, which is down 4 points from a similar poll that ran in mid-April. 56% disapprove of Trump. That's up by 5 points in the same span. Also found that 46% of registered voters said that they would back Biden in the November 3 presidential election. 38% would vote for Trump. This is better than if the numbers were reversed, but there's still 18% extant from that number. And we don't know where that's going to land.
No, we certainly don't. And the number that I've been interested in that I don't have in front of me, but some of the polls indicating that among people who strongly dislike both of the candidates, which is a lot of people, yes, they're breaking for Biden so far. And yes, in 2016, they broke for Trump.
Exactly.
And I think that's significant in what is obviously a depressing election for most people.
Yes. I mean, I think, and it also implicates the Trump's strategy. I think they're going back and forth. I mean, yesterday we talked about this whole thing about rolling out Obamagate, and that's not going to make Joe Biden look worse to voters. It's just, it just seems
it's actually incredible. It's delusional because it's speaking to the people who would already go lick a doorknob to vote for Trump. And it's reminding people of, and I say this with some frustration because I have a lot of objections to President Obama's record. He's popular.
Yes.
Why would you reinforce Biden's association with the most popular politician in America to only speak to the core of your cult? It doesn't make that much strategic sense.
My theory was that maybe they think they're losing part of their base.
Yeah.
I mean, or maybe this is also traditionally this time of year is in the cycle is when you would shore up your base and then I guess go. But this is not like they're not running a traditional campaign. They're not shoring up their base and then going for Biden voters. What they want to do and what they did with Clinton was they shore up their base fine, but then they want to suppress Biden voters. And that's something that you could do theoretically now, and they're not doing it. They haven't quite found out how to do it. So it appears that Donald Trump, based upon the fact that he can't quite figure out how he's going to suppress Joe Biden votes. I mean, obviously they're going to do this through, voter suppression tactics, but how he's going to convince people, Biden and Trump, they're all the same. I'm not going to go and vote for the president. How is he going to do that? He's not sure yet. So what he's doing is he's pivoting to his more Churchillian nature, because deep down inside of Donald Trump, there is a Winston Churchill there is someone who wants to inspire the American public to raise to greatness. He wants to, I think it is, shift to greatness or something like that.
Keep calm and complain about Fashion Week not being good anymore.
Day after day, we're making tremendous strides with the dedication of our doctors and nurses. These are incredible people. These are brave people. These are warriors. With the devotion of our manufacturing workers, food suppliers, and lab technicians, and with the profound patriotism of the American people, we will defeat this horrible enemy. We will revive our economy, and we will transition into greatness. That's a phrase you're going to hear a lot because that's what's going to happen. We're going into the third quarter, and we're going to do well. In the fourth quarter, we're going to do very good, and next year I think we're going to have one of the best years we've ever had because there's a tremendous pent-up demand. It's a demand, and I'm feeling it. I've felt things a lot over my life, and I've made a lot of good calls. It's a demand like I don't think I've ever seen. There's a pent-up demand. There's a spirit in this country like few have seen. And I think you can say, and we've helped a lot of the countries a lot. Really a lot. There's a tremendous spirit all over the world to beat this terrible, terrible thing. But we're transitioning to greatness.
Wow.
And the greatness is going to be in the fourth quarter, but it's really going to be next year, and it's going to be a year like we've never had before. I really believe that as good as we've done, and we've done great. We had the best economy in the history of the world.
That's so inspiring.
Wow.
Folks, can't you transition into greatness? We're going to do this all. And I love how he's doing this sort of this poetic speech that is immediately, and Q2 is going to be much stronger than Q3. We're going to hit all our fiscal benchmarks, and we're going to defeat this bad thing.
Oh, you read that as fiscal quarters. I thought he was doing a basketball metaphor.
I don't know.
No, he's talking about fiscal quarters. I think that Churchill's like, an investor confidence will peak in the fourth quarter.
He's not even that. He's not even that lucid.
No, it's not
just like lucid. Q3 great. Q5 be better. Look at what transitionforgreatness.com is. Can we pop that up on the screen? There you go. Good job. Good job.
Right. Well done.
There you go.
Though I think they need to update that number depressingly. We're at over 80.
Indeed.
But I think that, I think Trump obviously does have certain political skills and certain communicative skills that work well for him, but he's just completely unable to do
sincere,
the inspiration thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's just totally unable to do that. I mean, he can be funny.
Can I shift back to hate?
Right.
We're transition into China is horrible.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be great. There's going to be a Q4, and everyone's talking about Obamagate, which is the worst thing.
Speaking